If you're still manually hunting for clients in 2026, you're basically bringing a knife to a gunfight. While you're spending hours researching prospects and writing personalized messages that nobody reads, your competition is using AI to send hundreds of high-quality, human-sounding messages before you even had your morning coffee. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact AI system that's letting everyday people book consistent, qualified sales calls every single month, without sounding like a robot, without spam filters completely destroying you, and without spending 40 hours a week on boring tasks that nobody wants to do. We're gonna get AI to do 80% of the outbound for you so you can actually focus on signing clients. So whether you're trying to sign your first client or you want to 10x your current pipeline, this is going to be the most important video you watch all year. Now, the first thing we're going to cover when it comes to signing clients is first you need to find these clients and know where they are. Now, I was having lunch with a friend the other day, and he's someone who's a serial entrepreneur, has started multiple 8-figure businesses. And I asked him, when he goes into a new category or when he's starting a new business, what's the most important tips that he has when he's going in? And he said the first thing that's the most important is that you need to be able to find the clients that you want to sell to. If you literally cannot find them and reach out to them, there's no way for you to sell. Now, I took it a step further and make that conversation applicable for you. I actually broke it down into 3 elements, right? When you're looking for clients, first you want to find, okay, are they easy to find, right? Can you find their contact information and reach out to them with a cold email, for example? Number 2, do they have pain? However you want to help your clients, you need to understand they have to have some kind of pain. If there's no pain, there's no reason for them to spend money on your solutions. And the third piece is that they need to be able and willing to spend money to make that problem go away. Some people have money, but they're not willing to spend. Some people don't have money at all. Both of these type of people are the people you don't want to reach out to. You need to find businesses that are able and willing to spend. So if you look at the intersection of all these points, they're easy to find, they have a pain point, they have money to spend, your chances of them responding to your message is going to be significantly higher if you don't have this checklist. But once you do have a checklist, you might be wondering, okay, what's the fastest way to connect with these dream clients? And let me tell you, in the fastest way, when you don't have a personal brand, nobody knows who you are, you don't have much case studies and testimonials, the easiest way to get started is actually outbound cold email. Just sending them a cold email or a message so that you can start a conversation and get them on the phone. All right, so we're gonna be using one of the best softwares in the game when it comes to cold emailing, finding contacts, getting the emails of these contacts, even sending the emails, and that is going to be Apollo, who's also our partner for this video. So when it comes to using software like Apollo, I'm going to show you some of the newest features that literally were just invented the last couple of months that will allow you to send your cold emails and get clients as quickly as possible. So when you're using any type of software, sometimes it might be very confusing on how to set up campaigns, how to even use it. And a lot of times you spend so much time on the administrative work that you don't actually do any outbound and selling. So what Apollo has done is they're going to make it as extremely simple as possible using AI. So the first thing you want to do when you come in is you want to use something called the AI Content Center, right? All the strategies I'm going to show you right now are going to be using AI and taking advantage of what's possible with today's technology. So the first thing to understand is Apollo first needs to understand your business, right? So you're not starting from scratch. You're not staring at a blank piece of paper. They know your business. So all you have to do is put in your website. So I put in my website here, founderx.net, and it's going to fill out all of these things for me just based on looking at my website, right? You go there, find information because I already done it. It's already here, right? So it's going to find the customer pain points based on my website, my value proposition, the call to action that I want, which is book a call, all the social proof I have, and my overall company overview. And this is all pulling from my website, right? I didn't have to manually enter all this stuff. I literally just gave it the URL and it did the rest for me. Now, why this is important is because once you start finding the right ideal customers and finding the decision makers at these companies and even what to even say in the emails and your follow-ups, right? It has some context to who you are so it doesn't spit out some generic, AI slop. It's actually relevant to your ideal customer because it knows you so well. And I did that all with really just a click of a button so far, right? And by the way, Apollo is our partner for today's video. And after using their platform, I can see why so many people are using it as the one-stop shop for sending outbound and even inbound campaigns. Now, if you want to try Apollo for free and test it out for yourself and use the exact process I've been showing you in this video, I put a link in the description for you to get a free trial. You're going to get access to their entire database of millions of contacts, all the AI tools and features, plus you can send outbound sequences all from one platform. It's literally everything you need to get started when it comes to booking calls this week without having to duct tape 5 different tools together. So again, if you want to give it a spin, go ahead and check out the link in the description for your free trial. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find the companies that we want to reach out to. So in my business, Founder X, what I do is I help people build their personal brands, get more clients, and sell their skills online. So for this example, let's just say that I wanted to sell my services to other B2B service companies, right? I'm talking accountants, marketing agencies, AI automation agencies, right? All these guys, they need to build their personal brands because founders need personal brands these days, and they want to sell their services. So let's say I want to reach out to them in cold email, offer my services, get them on a call, and sell them. So all I really need to do is once I'm in Apollo, right? I'm in the section where I'm finding companies. I gotta just press this button right here, the assistant button, right? So you almost want to think of it like when you talk to any AI like ChatGPT, it's just a chat and it kind of does all the work for you. This works exactly the same way. So I actually already wrote a prompt, which is find me B2B service businesses doing 1 million in revenue plus. So coaches, consultants, agencies. And then I want the AI to look at their LinkedIn, their YouTube, their X, see if they have a social media following. Because if they're already doing good, I can't really sell them because they're already too good. But if they make revenue 1 million plus, but they don't have a social media following, that is going to be in my wheelhouse of who I can sell, right? And so in the olden days, I would literally have to make a list of all the consulting companies, go on each person's profile, determine whether or not I should add them to my list, and I would spend hours doing that. So I'm gonna start a new chat right now, and all we have to do is really copy and paste the prompt, right, which I already have right here, and enter. So now it's syncing, and it's gonna be doing all the work for me. So as you can see, it's already populating, right? It's using all the features, all the filters. I didn't have to do any of these. I don't even need to know how all of this works. I just talk to it like I'm talking to an AI or a person, and it's gonna do all the research for me, right? And so it's still thinking, it's still filtering everybody through, but so far it's gotten 359,000 people that I can potentially talk to. Now, the key here is like, okay, obviously hundreds of thousands of people, I can't reach out to all of them. So we're going to use AI to figure out how we can filter this even further to reach out to the people that have the most likelihood of responding to my emails. And so what it's doing now is like, okay, it's got 36,000 companies. And it's like, oh, you know what? Never mind. Let's actually narrow it down to 2,000 to 8,000 qualified founders and owners without me having to do anything. And so it's like, okay, let's even go deeper to figure out who has the problem of needing to build a personal brand right now. And it's still going, like if I were to do this myself, I don't know how many hours it would take to filter all these people, but because Apollo's doing all the work for me, I press one thing and it's going. So it's saying, would you like me to proceed with generating the free preview of the research and show you 5 samples before it uses any credits? Yes, proceed. It's like having an ultimate like virtual assistant like doing all the work for you. But the best part of it is that because Apollo has so much data that's trained on the best way to do go to market, the best way to do outbound, it's specifically tailored to get you results, right? It's not like using any other random AI software because there's no training data, but Apollo, like they probably send like tens of millions of emails for people, maybe even more every single month. And that's why the data is so good, right? Okay, so here's what we got. Basically, after thinking for a while, it gave me some samples, and it's saying, okay, there's this person Joyce, owner of this company called Nooks. It's a coach. Reasoning why. This is the cool part. It gives you a reason why it even chose this person at this company. So this company offers coaching and mentorship to help professionals build an online business. Okay, so I want to do something. I want to make sure that they don't have a good personal brand. So I'm saying, can you apply a filter checking if they have a strong personal brand? I only want to target companies that do 1 million revenue, but are not good at personal branding, right? So I want to make it absolutely clear that it does the research for me. Otherwise, I'd be sending the emails to the wrong people. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do 10 contacts for now, just to give you a taste of how this works, right? So I went ahead and enriched some of the data, and we're going to see whether or not these people that it's giving me need help with their social media. So you see on the side here, basically there's a little column that it created by itself where we can see whether or not they need help with social media. Basically I press click to run, and then what should happen. And what's going to happen is it's going to give me some kind of score to see whether or not I should add them to my list. So it's basically just saying yes, reasoning. Nooks marketing needs. Nooks is an AI sales assistant platform, operates a competitive industry. The company has a strong product offering, but there's no indication of dedicated marketing team for clear social media strategy. So signals for help. Rapid growth expansion suggests a need for enhanced marketing efforts. Absence of content marketing, social. Okay, cool. So basically we got some kind of AI assistant platform. They're making money. They got a bunch of employees. They're growing, which Apollo can see all that data, but it double checks to see if they have any social media presence, right? And if they don't have any social media presence, what are they doing, right? Because there are going to be so many competitors. So I can go in, write in cold email saying like, hey, congrats on the growth. How come you guys aren't taking social media seriously? It's going to be one of the biggest channels moving forward in 2026. So basically you get the data from all these people, and you only want to target the ones that need help, right? You don't want to target people that don't need help. Otherwise your response rate is going to be so low. And again, AI is doing all the work. All I have to do is ask it what I'm looking for, and it will do the work for me. Now, what we're going to do next is going to be crazy, and that's actually building that campaigns and writing the emails. So the next step, once you build your list of people, you get all the companies and also all the decision makers at these companies that you want to reach out to. We got to build our outbound campaigns. And how we're going to do it is like this. The easiest format I've found to get clients is you send the first message, then you wait 4 days later and you send the first follow-up. If they don't respond to that, you send the second follow-up. If you don't respond to that, you send the third follow-up, right? After the third one, you could keep emailing them, but I just move on to the next prospect because they're probably not that interested, okay? So let's go ahead and do version 1 of this campaign and have Apollo's AI literally do all the work. Okay, so to even take it a step further, right? What I've done is I went ahead and picked an actual contact from the list, right? So this is going to be a small, medium business. Let's say it's a nutrition company. I'm going to help them build their personal brand, right? And I actually created my own prompt here to add in more of a casual tone, right? So instead of something that sounds like more AI, I'm saying, hey, make it casual, more natural, write it in a way where someone actually like speaks like a human, right? Don't sound salesy, don't sound like AI. Remove all these like dashes. For some reason, AI always has. As you can see, like there's all these rules that I have. So once I go ahead and enter that in, it's going to go ahead and populate and write the messages for me. And then on the generate preview contact. So if there's actually a specific person that works at a specific company, this is what the email is going to look like, right? So you can see like in these brackets, it's going to replace it with the industry, the company name, their first name. So it kind of does all that customization for you. Now, this is pretty much what AI wrote for me. And let's go ahead and go over it to see if it's any good, right? So it's like, hey, Megan, I saw that Buffalo Nutrition has been growing in the medical practice space. Pretty cool. Quick random question, right? Are you finding it hard to stand out? There's more registered dietitians doing similar stuff these days. Okay, I've been talking to a bunch of founders who hit 1 million mark. They're good at what they do, but everyone looks the same online. Okay. Just curious if you're seeing this too. So I would need to adjust it a little bit, right? I think this line can be definitely better. I probably would go at the angle of, how do you stand out from the rest of your competition? Or, a lot of the bigger brands are using personal branding to get their name out there. So I was just curious to see if that's something that your team was looking into, right? And then follow-ups, hey, so you can choose a contact just for example, right? Hey, Megan, following up on that thing of standing out in the medical practice. So we got to fix the grammar here. I've been watching what people are doing, putting out content, putting their name. So again, it has the core idea there, but I had to kind of massage it and make it more natural, probably delete a couple of lines to make it better, right? And same deal here, right? You can just pick any other person, see what the follow-up looks like to see like what it's going to generate, right? So the idea is you never want to just 100% rely on AI. It gives you the framework based on the data that it has of like how you can approach a company. But when you read these sentences, even if you have all these rules, you got to make sure that, this is something that you would actually respond to, right? And that's pretty much how it goes. So think of it like it creates the campaign, or AI creates a whole campaign, writes everything for you, builds a list for you, find the individuals for you. But at the end of the day, you got to use your brain to figure out, okay, is this something that people will actually read? Now, if I were to do this myself without all this AI, I'd probably still be building the list, as we speak, right? Because, back in the day before AI, you had to manually do all this stuff. And I distinctly remember back when I was at like Oracle and back in the days, I would have to, go on LinkedIn and find every single person and find their email. It's such a pain, but this made it like 20x faster. Once you get all your contacts, put it in the campaign and you just let it send and see what the results are going to look like. Now, I want to talk to you real quick about some tips on writing these outbound messages, specifically on the pitfalls you got to avoid, especially as we move towards the era where AI is doing around 80% of the work for you. So the first is you never want to let AI do all the thinking and writing. You saw from this example that I gave it some ideas. I gave it ideas on who I want to target, what are the pain points I want to hit, what is the revenue size of the company that I want to go after. These are all ideas that I came up with based on my experience in the market. So because you should be at the cutting edge of your industry, you should be able to give it some input so that the output, so all the campaigns and the lists and all that stuff, is as good as possible. If your inputs are bad, like you don't know what you're selling, you don't know why your customer should buy, don't expect AI to save you, because you have to have the idea and you let AI do a lot of the work. And the second thing is you want to make sure that your ideas have that human touch. Again, like don't let AI do the thinking for you, right? Because if you expect this to magically get you a bunch of meetings, it's just not going to work because everyone else is doing the same thing, right? You got to have ideas, you got to be on the cutting edge. And then when you use AI, you're going to go so much further. I think of it like AI is like a bicycle. Yeah, you can walk to your destination and it might take an hour, but if you hop on a bike, you're going to get there like 5 times faster, right? But as AI gets better and better and better, 6 months from now, after I drop this video, maybe the AI on Apollo is going to be like way better. So then that bicycle turns into a car, then it turns into a jet. These things need human direction and a pilot in order to even decide which direction you should go. All right, so now that we've created our campaigns with AI, the next step of the process is actually to improve the machine. Because it's not enough to use AI and send these messages, you need to be getting better every single campaign so that your responses go up, the amount of meetings you get go up, and you can ultimately sign more clients, right? If you don't reflect on the data that you're given, and Apollo attracts all of this for you so you can look at what you need to improve, well, if you don't look at the data, you're not going to improve at all, right? So look at the data. And so I'm going to show you how to think about improving your outbound campaigns, especially if you're just getting started. So when you're improving the machine, there are 3 main things you need to understand. The first is you need to look at your data to see what worked and what didn't. When you're A/B testing different subject lines, look at the one that worked. If it worked, create new variations of the winner to find possibly a better winner. And once you find these adjustments and things you can improve, whether it's the subject line, the body, your call to action, right? Because you're always testing these things. Then you want to make these adjustments and improve on the next campaign. So you should always be getting better with every single campaign that you send. You should not be stagnant. You should not be getting worse every month. You need to be getting better. Even if you were to improve, let's say 1% every week, that compounds into a lot. And the most important part of this is you need to track your numbers, okay? Now, if you're using a software like Apollo, yeah, it's gonna automatically track your open rates and all these things. So there's gonna be no problem there. But you have to understand whichever method you decide to do, you need to look at your numbers, because if you don't measure something, there's no way for you to improve it. Let me introduce you to a concept called feedback loops, right? You can apply this to literally anything, whether it's content creation, sending outbound. It's just a way of doing things. So you have an idea, first of all, right? You say, okay, today I'm going to reach out to all the real estate agents in California who have this specific problem, like they don't have an Instagram following, and I want to send them a message on how I can be a service provider helping them with Instagram. Cool, that's your idea. It's a hypothesis. You don't have any data to prove that it works. You don't know if this is going to be the perfect ideal customer. It's just an idea. So you have the idea, you build your list with Apollo, use all the AI features, get that done in a couple minutes, right? Then you write your campaigns and you send it that same day or the next day, right? Schedule in the morning, most likely. And then you'll get your results that will come in over the next few days or the next week or two, depending on how you set up the follow-ups. And then you will see what your open rate is, what your response rate is, and whether or not you can book any meetings from that. And once you get the results, you just look at it and you say, okay, what worked? What didn't work? What does my A/B test look like? Does this subject line work? Should I even be going after real estate agents, or should I try, HVAC companies tomorrow, or maybe solar companies tomorrow, right? So you're always testing different ideas, and then you go back to the brainstorming idea of, okay, that campaign worked pretty well. What can I do better? So if you got all these real estate agents to respond, you might be like, okay, sick. I got a bunch of meetings from this. So instead of just hitting the ones in California, now I'm going to try Nevada because it works so well in California. I don't see why I wouldn't get a similar result. And you just keep improving little by little and, getting meetings every single week until eventually you have a lead generation machine. And that is really all there is to it. The only way you can actually fail is if you don't reflect on the data to make adjustments on what can be improved and what you should stop. All right, so now that you have the entire AI system to automate your outreach and book calls like a machine, you have to understand that this only really works when you have crystal clear clarity on who exactly you're selling to and what exactly you want to sell to them. So if you're at the stage where you're still trying to figure out your offer and you're not exactly who your ideal client is, all the AI in the world isn't going to save you. And that's why I created a free training that's going to show you how you can nail down your offer, identify your ideal perfect client, and build your personal brand so that you can focus on the one thing that's the most important, and that is closing deals consistently. It's the same system I've used to help my clients go from literally zero in revenue and no offer to making $10,000 per month and beyond. Now, I put a link in the description where you can grab that free training. And if you found this video useful, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button because I'm gonna be dropping bangers like this every single week. With that said, I'll catch you in the next one.